Hello, and welcome to the Quick Flick Critic Reviews and Interviews. I'm your host, John SMISTAD, and these are my takes on films both new and not so, spanning a wide range of genres and tastes, plus conversations with some of the coolest people in indie entertainment. Now, let us rock with this one, shall we?
All systems
Like
go.
yesterday on the Quick Flick Critic Reviews and Interviews is a first-time feature film director. His name is Thom Mills, and his film is called Luderdale. And he will talk about that film. But first of all, Thom, welcome to the Quick Flick Critic Reviews and Interviews. It's a pleasure to have you, sir.
Thank you, John. It's really good to be here. I've seen some of your shows, and I appreciate your love for cinema, and I'm excited to talk about Luderdale.
So I've seen Luderdale, enjoyed it. What was the inspiration for the story that you wrote, for the film that you directed? Where did this story come from for you?
The film is about 90 to 95% fictional, but the 5 to 10% that is real came out of an experience that I had right after college in the early 80s. I decided to go down to Fort Lauderdale just to hang out at the beach for a year before I took on whatever real life was supposed to be later. So I'd been there for spring break. I loved Fort Lauderdale, who doesn't? And I went down and said, I'm going to hang at the beach for a year. So I went down, I lived there for quite a while. And I was working at a t-shirt shop on the beach, but I lived about 3 miles from the beach. I used to bike in.
Oh, wow.
But there was a hotel that was right on the beach, right across the street from the beach, literally, that I would park my bike in front of all the time. And it was closed, shuttered. They had newspapers covering the windows, out of business. Had retail on the first floor, and the hotel was on the second floor. I used to go there and look, man, what a place that would be to live. Wouldn't it be amazing? So I'd park my bike, I'd go to work, I'd come back, I'd look at the hotel and just say, oh, I got to drive 3 miles on my bike. Well, one day I saw some movement inside. You could kind of see between the newspapers where there was openings. I saw somebody moving in there. So I knocked on the door, no answer. Knocked on the door again. Finally, this guy opens up the door, very big man. I remember him very, very distinctly, the first vision of him. And he said, what do you want? And I said, are you guys open here? And he was like, no. I said, okay. So I'm ready to turn and leave. Another guy turns up behind him, big smile on his face, half that guy's size, and says, what are you looking for? And I said, well, I work down the street and I saw this hotel and I've been noticing it and it looks like you guys are opening. And he said, we might be able to do something. So that began a friendship that lasted about 3.5 months, where I knew these two guys. I lived in the hotel with them. It was myself and two guys in a 15-room hotel, no one else. One of the two guys never left the hotel. The big guy came and went. I came and went freely. And we became sort of friends, but distant friends. Like, we would spend a lot of time either on the roof together, having a beer, eating occasionally. But I never asked them why they were there. I didn't care. I had a cheap room at the beach. Life was great, and it was just wonderful. And I knew there was something mysterious about him, but I couldn't put my finger on it, and I didn't want to press it. At 21, you don't really think about those things much.
Wow.
So lived there for a while, and then I came home after about 3.5 months. I came home one day, and they were gone, completely gone.
We just may be at the end of the line.
Lady showed up about a week later with a set of keys and said to me, what are you doing in my building?
Hey, bud, what's your problem?
So now I was terrified by her. And I said, well, I was living with Nikki and Tommy, not their real names, but and I thought that maybe they were running the place. She said, I don't know any Nikki and Tommy, and you have a week to get out. So that was it. So for all these years, that real story percolated in my head as to who could those guys have been, and were they running from something?
Yeah.
And so that was it's a long answer to a short question, but that was the genesis for the story, which I, over the years, have turned into this mystery thriller, so forth.
Yeah. The main character, one of the main characters is Hutch, and that mirrors what you just told me there.
Yeah.
You know, this is your first experience as a director of a feature film. What was the most surprising thing to you about doing this?
That's a good one, John. A couple things. One, how fast it went, the actual production. I mean, literally, we shot the movie in 12 days, which is not a thing I recommend for any filmmaker. We were knocking out 10 to 12 pages a day of script, and I was tearing up as many pages as we were shooting just to make our days.
Common in Indy, yeah.
Yeah, so that was, it was over in a blip. Of course, took 2 years after that to edit, re-edit, do special effects, you name it. But how utterly draining the experience of being on set that long and then having to go home and sleep for 4 or 5 hours and get up and do it again and be fresh, the total energy sap that it brings. But at the same time, you don't really feel it until the day you wrap, so I mean, that's one of about 1,000 things.
It hits you hard. Yeah. Off topic, but I got to ask you because I'm a huge rock music fan. You may still be, but you have been a rock music journalist, correct?
Yeah. My buddy Mike tells me, Tom, you've had more jobs than anybody I know, and I'm like, yeah, it's not because I'm bad at them. I just like to try different things.
You know what I'm saying?
Diversify. Yeah. You got a lot of different gifts. What's the coolest rock concert you've ever seen, Tom?
Coolest rock concert. Oh, I thought you were going to ask me who I interviewed that was the coolest. All right, let me think about that. Coolest. I'm going to be honest with you. There was a band that is one of the greatest bands ever that I never really was into that much because I was into more like heavy metal, like Kiss and Aerosmith. So I finally saw them in 2007, and that was the Rolling Stones. And after seeing them perform, I was like, oh my God, now I get it. Here's a guy, Jagger, who at the time was probably 70, maybe?
Yeah.
And playing for 3.5 hours, never stops moving. The band is as tight as any band could ever be. And I'm looking at them going, okay, it just took me this many years to realize how incredible they are. So
these
that
guys
was the
are
concert.
Pros.
Yeah, pros indeed. So that concert was still fresh in my mind.
Back to the matter at hand. The movie again, Luderdale. Tom, where can people watch Luderdale?
It is on a lot of streamers. I'm thankful to say we're very blessed. Amazon Prime comes to mind first.
Thumbs up.
Apple TV is another one. Google, Sling, Direct TV, wherever you rent movies there. Dish TV, Xfinity.
Oh, good gosh.
And others. And others. Yeah, my incredible distribution company, Freestyle Digital Media, got us a lot of platforms. So we're just thrilled for a little movie to have this much opportunity. So,
yeah. Thom Mills, director, writer, first-time feature film director of the film. Again, the film is called Luderdale. It's a play on Fort Lauderdale. You understand when you watch the movie why this film is called Luderdale. Tom, This has been a pleasure, man, and all the best with the movie. Thanks for being on the Quick Flick Critic reviews and interviews. I really enjoyed this.
I did too as well, and thank you so much. And I'm glad you saw the film, and appreciate the time we got a chance to talk to you about it.
Absolutely. Thanks for watching this episode of the Quick Flick Critic reviews and interviews. Now I ask that you please subscribe and be notified of my continuous new episode announcements. As always, make it a great day and make it count. Goodbye, everybody.
Aww.